Coming up on Theater Talk.
Were you guys friendly before you did this play, or?
We hate each other now.
You're sick to death of him?
Theater Talk is made possible in part by the CUNY TV Foundation and Paul Bungert and Alan Lane. From New York City, this is Theater Talk. I'm Susan Haskins.
And I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post. And we're already having fun with our guest tonight because I must say, Susan, our viewers sometimes suggest that you and I have chemistry, but they must be blind because true chemistry is on stage at the Samuel Friedman Theater in Constellations, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Ruth Wilson. Welcome to Theater Talk. And I must say, I've seen a lot of pairings over the years, Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, Alec Baldwin, and, oh God, what was her name who was in Streetcar Named Desire years ago? Who we
Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange, chemistry. But I have not experienced the chemistry between the two of you in Constellations on Broadway. Oh. Great performances, and a beautiful, tender, twisted.
No, he's not experienced the chemistry, but I haven't experienced a chemistry like that chemistry.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes.
I had assumed that's what he meant.
Yeah,
That's what I kind of
right, well.
you meant as well.
But you have
Chemical reaction already.
He has experienced the chemistry.
Yes, I'm
did
sure
see
he
the
has.
show,
You watched
right?
it, yeah.
Of course, absolutely. No, you guys are great, and welcome to Theater Talk.
Thank you.
And I think it's your Broadway debut for the two of you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for both of us.
All right, before we get into the play, I'm just curious about your background and why you decided to get into the theater. I mean, I assume when you're growing up, it's not like you want to be a movie star, but you start out maybe doing a play, wanting to be in a play.
Yeah, in London, I think it's slightly different than here. You have everything's in one place. So film, TV, and theatre are all based in London, really. And there's not enough of one of them to do just one of those things. So you have to do all of it. And you're encouraged to, and you're trained to. So theatre, I always did it when I was younger, and then not professionally, but I loved it, and I'll always go back to it.
What was the first play you did? I mean, when you were just a little kid.
When actually, this is quite funny, I did an adaptation of the film The Warriors.
Where?
Where
was
that? That's a pretty cool idea, actually.
So it was awful. It was 11-year-old
But you get
kids
parts for
running
all the
around.
kids.
No,
She didn't mean that. It wasn't that bad.
11-year-old kids running around with polystyrene baseball bats hitting each other.
Great.
It was brilliant fun. So that was sort of an amateur drama club that I was part of. And then I went to university and did loads of theatre on the side, and then I went to drama school. And,
Where'd you go?
I went to Lambda.
Yeah.
And did 2 years postgrad, and that's all theatre-based. So for me, my training's in theatre, and I'll always go back. I love it, and it's where I feel most free as an actor. So I'll try and do a play every 2 years if I can.
Right.
And then this came up, and hadn't done Broadway, desperate to do Broadway, but with the right play and at the right time, with the right
and the right actor.
and the right person. Okay. And this came, and I'd seen it in London, and it was amazing. So for me, it was, I don't know, it's perfect opportunity at the right time.
Yeah.
And a bit about you, Jake, before we move on to the play.
I'm actually fascinated about how she got into it, because I have to say it's interesting coming from where I come from, which is a family that's all involved in the creative process pretty much since I was out of the womb and into the world.
You were surrounded by it.
Yeah, in working with Ruth, it felt like she had come from exactly the same place. There's something that's just sort of like as if it was fluent, like from a very young age, and it's interesting coming from where she's come from, and nobody in her family has done anything like it. It's fascinating to me every night to be up there with her and be like, I mean, obviously it sounds absurd to say this, because obviously there are many people who do the job who haven't come from it, were born into it in a way, but it's incredible. I've never really heard where the inception of like your inspiration came.
The Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors. But
But you grew up in the family of actors and creative people. Was there ever any doubt that you would go into it, or were you like, I don't need this. This is what I know, and I want to be an accountant. I'd rather be a hedge fund manager.
Not any of the latter, but I think that there is still something in me that always sort of wonders whether or not I'm in the right place. But I think that's probably why I found myself in the performing arts. And I think it's something that my sister, being older than me, growing up with an older sister, doing sort of extraordinary work, even for her, like at a young age, watching her in awe of her work, I've always kind of looked up to and always wanted to do. But it's just fun, you know? It's been great fun since I was a kid, and the stage has always been actually the place where I've loved the most. You know, I've always felt, like Ruth said, sort of most comfortable there and where I can be most myself. And I've just been extraordinarily lucky in films, you know, to be able to do films. But
well, you need the film career to subsidize the theater career because, I mean, you're working at the Manhattan Theater Club, not exactly
paid much.
Or in Ruth's case, the Golden Globe winning actress in the Golden Globe winning series The Affair.
Yes.
That helps you.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
along,
TV
suppose.
these days gets very well paid, so that helps. But also, it's great. I mean, they're different mediums. They demand different skills of you as an actor. So to mix it up is, you know, that's the best combination.
It's very interesting, though, that now we get to Constellations, Nicholas Payne's wonderful play, that here is a play where there's different scenario, time is skewed. And again, in The Affair, there's a kind of distorting of time.
Yeah.
That's there also, so that there's a similar core that runs through these two works.
Yeah.
Did that strike you right away?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I think there's something, obviously people these days are challenging the way that narrative is written and that how stories are told. That seems to be something that people are kind of interested in at the moment. So both Sarah Treem and Nick Payne are kind of challenging that. And for me, that's really interesting. If I read a script and it stands out as something different, if it's structurally different or if the part's different, then I'll jump at it. And this was, in the same way The Affair did, this did for me.
It was so interesting to me that in the script of Constellations, he doesn't say how these scenes are going to be played, that you play. I don't know. I mean, perhaps you should tell people a little bit about the play.
Well, let me just explain
Yeah.
before we get into it. This is I don't want to give the play away
No.
because it's very moving and it has some twists and turns that will touch your heart and break your heart. But it's a play about things that happened, might happen, could happen, just like life. Is that what attracted you to it? I mean, I would be curious now, when you read this play and you think, all right, here's a scene that is going to go this way, and then it's going to go this way, and then it's going to go this way. This is not, you know, your traditionally narratively structured play.
It's not, and yet there really is. I think there is a narrative through it, which is kind of amazing. There's a sense of gimmick initially, where you think, "Oh, is this something that we're watching where we're going to see this
It's a trick.
over
It's
and
just a
over
little
again?
trick. Yeah.
A trick? Is this some sort of acting exercise?" And then ultimately, as you move through it, you feel, and this is a real testament to Nick and his brilliance, is that you feel his heart deeply embedded in each one of these changes. And so, you know, he wrote the play the same year that his father died. He met his now wife. And within that period of time and all of those feelings, you know, of sort of elation and deep sadness and pain and all of those things, sort of came this product, this beautiful play that he wrote. And I think you feel that in it. And there are no stage directions, like you said. There are basically 4 or 5 stage directions in it. When we kiss a few times, there's one prop, you know. So he has a great respect for the actor. And I would say for everybody in the creative process, for the director
how much
too.
the director, I wonder, was involved in
Absolutely.
Completely. On this page, it looks like a poem. I mean, it's not...
Really?
It's not divided up. The only thing that changes is the change of font for change of universe. So it just looks like a series of dialogue. And
But
it looks
there's
like
no
a poem.
consistent, meaning it's not like it's New Times Roman for this couple and then it's another. It's literally just bold
Comic
and regular
Sans for
fonts.
this one, yeah.
It just goes back and forth. So.
And then
But
I heard it said that there's 8 different plays going on.
And it's
Yet
only
you're-
90 minutes, by the way.
Right, right. And
Or even
but
that,
70,
68.
yes,
you haven't been told how to separate and play it. That's up to you.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that was a process with the director and with us too, and with Nick, how we divide up those scenes and what the intention of each scene is, what the given circumstances are. There are clues in the text, but it's up to us each night to sort of find that.
But it's interesting what you say there, because I would think as actors you have to approach each moment in a scene. If could go this way, could go that way. This way has got to be the way it is going to go. This is the world you are living in.
Yeah.
And then when you go in the other direction, that is the world you're living in, and you don't know that this other world happened.
Yeah.
Each one of those things has to be broken down and defined so specifically and acted truthfully.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the other scenarios might be.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, each of those, we had to find the truth of all of them. And if they're 3 seconds long, you still have to find the truth of them. And they range from different lengths. I mean, some ones probably 7 minutes, or and then there's some which are literally like 30 seconds.
I mean, some are 10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you have to find the truth. That was what we had to work hard at, being specific with each individual world and the truth of that, and finding. And each night, Jake's like, "We need more, find more truth to this scene. It doesn't quite work."
But he can't say that to you during the performance.
Oh, but that's
So
interesting.
that-
Are there?
We can't. We talk to each other as
you
you would
can?
probably. We talk to each other in a way, obviously, as you would probably say to any actors on another plane, and we demand things of each other every night. And I think that's what makes the show so fun.
But when you're up on that stage doing that play, there's no way you can communicate with each other except the line.
Of
well,
course
no.
not.
I mean, we have barely.
I was. You must have. Don't you have signals to like, hey, there's no truth here?
No, right.
No. Do you have little eye signals?
We
you
have
can say?
check-in moments with each other. We definitely do. We have there are a couple moments, maybe 3 in the show, that allow us to check in with each other. There's usually Ruth giving me her sort of play-by-play of the past 4 scenes. Like, she'll look at me in the eye and be like, "Are you feeling this too?" Like, and I'll be like, "Really?" Or totally. But what we do is we will switch intentions on each other, scene to scene. And I think that's what's so extraordinary about working with her, is that she's really, I mean, I feel like this is such a total cliche when you talk about it in acting, but really game for anything. I mean, there's a sense of, if I were to throw a different intention, even though we've decided what this scene is supposed to be, sort of the foundation of it, each one has a foundation for us. If I were to throw it at her, she'd be like, "Ooh, this is fun."
So, like, if you did a little Groucho Marx or something, she could,
We've done the show in different voices
Yeah.
at different times. We have.
I said you should do every one in a different accent. This accent's so good. It's like, just do a Scottish. And
Well, I have to ask you.
like-
No, I have to ask you about this. So, a friend of mine, who's English, Imogen Lloyd Webber, Andrew Lloyd Webber's daughter. Imogen's pet peeve about seeing American actors is they cannot do English accents. It drives her crazy. She said on the Imus in the Morning program, we all had gone to see the play, and she said, "Jake Gyllenhaal has a better accent than I have." How the hell did you come up with the best British accent I've ever heard coming from an
Better than
American?
hers, wow.
Better than hers, exactly.
Well, wow. I don't know if I think that's inside my head. That's not how it seems. But, I mean, I have worked on that accent, the sort of base of a sort of standard RP British accent in other projects. And then it's a mix of having someone who has been, she's really my dialect coach, you know. She has, when there have been things throughout the play, or words or phrases, or particularly very specific words that don't work, she'll always come and tell me. And we did throughout the whole rehearsal process check in on very specific words. I wanted to do the accent for a British audience, and I wanted to match hers in the best way that I could. And
So you're sort of Henry Higgins to his Eliza Doolittle.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly it. That's exactly how it plays out in her world. Yes, absolutely.
Give me an example of where he couldn't quite get it and you had to bring him along.
Weren't many. You've got like 5 words, and that's not much in all of that whole dialogue.
Yeah.
5 words, and they're all perfect. But it was just, and that was right at the beginning. He nailed it, and people have come and they said it's amazing. It feels like you're watching the play in London because of the nature of the piece, but also I'm up there. But then Jake just sounds like he's British.
Because you could have done it. I mean, you could have been an American. There's no reason why you could not have been an American guy falling in love with a British woman.
You could, I think, but mixed writing is so
British.
particular to being British.
Yeah.
It's the sensibility, it's those
Buoyancy of moments
and
where,
awkwardness
yeah.
and refusal to kind of really be honest with your emotions, or you're trying to cover it up, and that awkward humour.
Yeah.
It's so British. So it's hard to kind of translate that actually if you put an American in the role. And you did try it, didn't you, early on? Or you
Yeah,
just gave it a go?
Nick and Mike wanted to try it as an American version. And what would happen, what's interesting in it is that, like Ruth was saying, there's a sense of the idiosyncrasies that are totally cultural that are British, which are essentially a sense of presentation and bringing up humor in situations that might be more awkward, and then they become more awkward as a result, and sort of avoiding things in a beautiful way because their accents are so nice. All of those things, you know, as an American, were so much more direct.
Right.
And so what happened was, you know, Roland became a character who was just sort of bumbling around as an American, who you felt like his idiosyncrasies were a personality trait as opposed to cultural. And I think that took away from the show, and I think it ultimately took away from their relationship, which is what the whole show's about, you know.
It's true. Yeah, God, you can talk about this play forever because it's only 75, 80 minutes, whatever it is, but it gets deeper and deeper. Because that opening scene where the two of you meet, I was thinking, because I had been in London in December, and I thought, this is very similar to a party that I had been at. And watching, because an American like me, I would be like, hey, how are ya? Want to have a drink? You know? And that's not quite the way it's written. It's these two people who, you do get a sense that the two of you are somewhat detached as people. You know, and that
might just be us. I think.
It could be both loners.
But having a relationship is not easy for these two characters.
Yeah, no. It's
No, they're both quite awkward, and they're both self-conscious in their own way, or insecure. So it's the meeting of these two very different minds, but they kind of connect in a spiritual and loving way. And I think that's what's quite interesting about it. These two characters are, like you say, they're outsiders, and they find each other at this barbecue. And they find each other in each universe. And they keep finding each other, which is sort of beautiful.
Were you guys friendly before you did this play, or?
We didn't know each other.
We hate each other now.
You're sick to death of him? Those eyes, God, they're
really
cute now, but boy, they're
very
tired.
early on. No, we didn't know. We didn't know each other at all. Yeah, we've gotten to know each other. We spend pretty much all of our time together at this point.
Every day.
Every day, which is wonderful.
All right, just for the sake of argument here, since you guys, I mean, I said to somebody, I said, they're like the modern day Luntz, Alfred Lunt and Joan Fontaine.
All right, I'll take that.
Lynn Fontaine.
Yeah.
Lynn Fontaine. I'm sorry. Would you be interested in doing other plays together? Are there
Absolutely.
plays that the two of you would like to?
Oh, what? That just proved everything.
I want that woman out of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like without a doubt. Like without a doubt. Without a doubt.
The zoo story.
That'd be really.
You're on the bench and she's walking around poisoning the dog.
I was
quite good,
thinking,
actually. That
I think she is. It's rare when you find an animal similar to yourself, you know, like particularly in your craft. I'm sure you guys understand.
Yeah.
Or
Similar beasts.
We've been an animal act for 20 years.
Yeah.
but really, I mean, I think it's essential to that sort of connection. That's what you hope for, particularly on the stage. And with her, it just happens every night. Like I said, it's like we just go up there, and I'm usually always terrified and also elated. But at the same time, I always know, like, we have each other. Do you know what I mean? And I think, not to say you wouldn't feel that with other people, but I would love to keep that going, you know. It's
there's
rare.
a trust, which is, I mean, for a play like this, where there's just two people on stage, you have no props, you've got no time to do anything but just be in those scenes, and you need each other. You have to rely heavily and depend heavily on each other to get through it, and to make sure you can really make it sing and for the audience. And I mean, to have a partner like Jake, it's been amazing, because every time we try something new, we keep working, he keeps wanting to keep digging deeper and getting more truthful and changing it up if it's feeling stale, or, you know, so it's constantly a challenge, and that's what you want from your work and what you want from someone to work with, you know.
I see a Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf in your future.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He'd be a good George. And you would be a terrifying Martha, I've got to say.
I think I'd be a good Martha, and you'd be.
Well, we gotta
Jesus
wait.
H. Christ, what a jump.
We gotta wait a couple of years.
All right, the play is Constellations at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. Very moving play, and brilliantly performed by Ruth Wilson and Jake Gyllenhaal. Thanks for being our guest tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having
you
us.
So much.
Alexander's Ragtime Band.
Correct. Irving Berlin's first hit from 1911, and it was played on the deck of the Titanic in the early part of the sinking.
That's a cheery
That's
thought.
true.
Well, Fred Barton, you are here with us, orchestrator extraordinaire, to talk about Irving Berlin, because you're doing a concert next week, March 6th, of American Showstoppers Irving Berlin.
I love show music. And I think there are a lot of people who do love show music, and I mean classic show music, the way it used to be. I just love it. And so I thought, why don't we hear it? Why don't we do it? And show music was intended to be played with an orchestra. So I got an orchestra, 14 pieces, and every song must be a showstopper. So I got the likes of Karen Ziemba, Ruth Landry, and a whole host of others, 8 other performers and 8 dancers, all of whom are in touch with the old-fashioned style of stopping shows with classic show music. Yeah.
So, Karen and Bruce, you're going to sing a song for us tonight?
We are.
And we've just been talking about the counterpoint play, Constellations, and they are going to sing the classic counterpoint show tune.
Yeah, Irving Berlin really innovated the counterpoint. No other major composer did much of it. Gershwin wrote one, and no Cole Porter, none of the others really did counterpoint. And counterpoint means there are 2 separate songs that magically go on top of each other and sung together. And this was one of his most famous of all. So
A massive hit for Ethel Merman.
right.
Call Me Madam, go to it.
Shall we give it a whirl?
I hear singing and there's no one there. I smell blossoms and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why. I wonder why. I keep tossing in my sleep at night, and what's more, I've lost my appetite. Stars that used to twinkle in the skies are twinkling in my eyes. I wonder why.
You don't need analyzing. It is not so surprising that you feel very strange but nice. Your heart goes pitter-patter. I know just what's the matter, because I've been there once or twice. Put your head on my shoulder. You need someone who's older. A rub down with a velvet glove. There is nothing you can take to relieve that pleasant ache. You're not sick, you're just in love. You don't need
Singing and there's no one there.
So surprising
I smell blossoms and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air.
What's the matter?
I wonder why.
Because I've been there once or twice. Put your head on my
tossing
shoulder.
in my
You need
sleep at
someone who's
night.
older. A
And
rub
what's
down
more,
with a
I've lost
velvet
my
glove. There is nothing you can take to relieve
the
that
skies are twinkling
And
in
I
my
think you're
eyes.
just
I
in
wonder
love.
why.
There
Stars
is
that
nothing you
used
can
to
take
twinkle
to
in the
relieve
skies
that
are
pleasant
twinkling
You're not
in
sick,
my
you're
eyes.
just
I
in
wonder why.
Yay! Bravo, bravo. So Karen and Bruce, will you come sing a finale Berlin
Sure.
tune for us?
Oh, sure. Susan, you want to sing with us?
I'm going to sing with you.
What do we all know?
But I'm
I
going to
don't
go
know.
down here. I'm going to go over here. All right, very good.
All right. Everybody said, what do we all know? What's a good Irving Berlin song that everybody knows?
Oh, we know.
Two. All right, let's do it.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Everything about it is
appealing. Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere can you get that happy feeling when you are stealing
smile when they are low. Even with a turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. Let's go on with the show.
So, American Showstoppers, you've got Karen, you've got Bruce, and a host of other Broadway stars, including Leroy Reams and Brent Barrett. March 6th, the Schimmel Center. March 7th, the Goldstein Center. Fantastic. Keep playing, and we're out. Our thanks to the Friends of Theater Talk for their significant contribution to this production. Theater Talk is made possible in part by the Frederick Loewe Foundation, the Cory and Bob Donnelly Charitable Fund, the Noel Coward Foundation, Carrie J. Fries, the Dorothy Strelson Foundation, plus public funds from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs and the New York State Council on the Arts, a state agency.
We welcome your questions or comments for Theater Talk. Thank you and good night.